Good morning, Evergreen Rotary. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation.
and the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all? Thank you. Good morning, everyone. If there's anyone who doesn't have a seat, that we do have room over here in the front corner as usual, and there's one next to Alan if you're really a glutton for punishment. Okay, our inspiration this morning comes from Henry Matisse. There are always flowers for those who want to see them. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm about ready to start seeing the flowers. I'm done with the cooler weather. Adrian, I know I saw you. No, she's not here. Oh, okay. David, you're doing our guests.
Good morning. The guests that are here today, please stand. Jean Bradford. And Kathy Fogel with Summit County Rotary. Ken Frick was a guest of Kelly. And Peter Coleman, who put in an application today.
Welcome, everyone. And you all have heard me talk about the RISE Rotary Leadership Program. I am in the class with Jean. So if you don't trust me and you want to hear something about it, talk to her. It's a phenomenal program. I highly recommend it for anyone who's interested. All right, a couple quick announcements. Reminder, April 24th is our Area 8 dinner. Does benefit Imagination Library. It's shaping up to be an incredible event. So I highly recommend you get your tickets. There's a sign-up genius that will be in today's notes again, or the bulletin again after today's meeting. We're really looking forward to this, and we'd like to have our club have a really good showing. So please sign up. It's going to be a fun night and a very good cause. Epic Day of Service, May 17th. We have a couple different works that we'll be telling you more about in the next couple weeks. But please mark your calendar. That is a district-wide project where we're trying to get Rotarians from clubs all over the district to do service on the same day. So people all over Denver, all over Colorado will see Rotarians doing out and about doing good deeds. Peace polls. I got a note the other day. David is starting on his next 4 peace polls. So if anybody has a really epic location that they can help him get a peace poll planted, talk to him, please. And I just want to encourage, we have a lot of new members. So take the time to get to know your new members, introduce yourself, and invite them. We have all sorts of cool stuff. We have our book clubs, we have dine-arounds, we have our committee meetings, and we have our Area 8 dinner and the Epic Day of Service. So new members, please, if you want to know about any of these, grab one of us and ask. But if you're a longtime member, please invite the new people to join you at these events. It's a really good way to get to know other people outside of these Friday mornings. And make sure to visit our website and for events, because there's always stuff going on, and it's all listed on the calendar and on the right-hand bar of the website. So with that, I'm actually going to switch things up a little bit. We're going to do general announcements after we do our pause for the cause. We have a couple guests from the Cherry Creek Club who are going to do a pause for the cause today. So I'd like to introduce, I see Mike.
Terry's not able to make it today. Sorry.
Okay. So Mike is from the Cherry Creek Club, and he's going to be doing a pause for the cause today, and Russell's getting ready to turn up the sound.
I can do it.
I can do it. I have the power. All right, Mike, you are on.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. And are you able to see my slide?
Yes, we can.
Okay, then I will get started. First of all, thank you very much for having me. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir because your club has been so active and so supportive of RILA programs that you probably know 90% of what I'm going to go through. I've got just a handful of slides I will go through quickly. Most of you know RILA, what the letters stand for, Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. As I'm going to other clubs, not everybody is aware of all the various offerings as part of the RILA program. So there's RILA, Young RILA, and then RILA Plus for those with physical disabilities. The program has been adapted specifically for them. There's some history on here. I'll let you read it. I'm not going to go through every details, but suffice it to say the program started in the 60s. Rotary International picked it up in the 70s and said, we love this. We want to do this everywhere. Young RILA started later in the late 90s. And then in the early 2000s, the Rocky Mountain area, which is districts 5450 and 5440, got together and said, we want to include this in our programs. So that's when Young RILA began in the early 2000s here. As you know, it's funded entirely by Rotary clubs. I believe you guys have already requested, I think, 14 slots, and I don't even know about RILA Plus, but 10 for Young RILA, 4 for RILA. So thank you very much for your support of this great program. It wouldn't happen without you. As I'm traveling to clubs, and even my own club, which is very active, doesn't that many of the members, if they haven't actually gone to volunteer, they don't know what happens at the camp. And so that is what I'm going to talk briefly about. So for those of you who have not been there, each session had, and I'm going to talk specifically about Young RILA because that's what I'm most familiar with, but the RILA program is very similar. The camp is broken up, or the conference is broken up into 12 teams, each one with 12 students. Young RILA, it's conferees coming out of 7th grade going into 8th grade. Each team of 12 then has a specific junior counselor who's usually a high school senior or a college freshman, somewhere around that age, could vary a little bit. And one senior counselor, which we like to be a Rotarian, but isn't always a Rotarian. There's also, for the conference, there's some JC staff. So they're also the high school or college age kids. There are 2 head junior counselors, which they're really the face to the program, the ones the kids see all the time. There's conference chairs. Terry, who's not here, and I are the conference chairs for one of the weeks of Young RILA this year. And then we often, if we can, we staff the conference with a nurse because there's always bumps, bruises, and other medical ailments that need some attention. So I mentioned there's a junior counselor, and this is based on the principle of youth leading youth. That the conferees, these 7th, almost 8th graders, really relate better and listen better to somebody closer to their age than some old person like me. So that's why the junior counselor is really running the activities and being the primary interaction with the conferees. They make sure everybody's safe. They manage the logistics of getting the team everywhere they need to be. They give support. They lead them through activities. And I'll talk a little bit more about the debrief activity in a minute. The senior counselor, which is what I've done 4 times. I'm not going to do it this year because I'm a chair, is often a Rotarian. They're partnered, so you're with the same group of 12 kids the whole time if you're a senior counselor. You support the junior counselor. You provide, as a senior counselor, so much experience, perspective, and even just another set of eyes. So you get to work with the conferees, but you also get to mentor this junior counselor and help them on their leadership journey. I put this in red. We do not have enough senior counselors. If anybody is willing to consider being a senior counselor, you can get my contact information from Mindy. You can go to the Rocky Mountain RILA website. There's a place to say apply to an SC. There's 3 different weeks that we need, 2 of Young RILA, 1 of RILA, and there's also, I think, a need for counselors for RILA Plus. this idea called debriefing is really an important part of, I'll say, the core part of what goes on at the RILA and Young RILA conferences. It is really just a time of reflection. So they will go through an activity, and I'll call it a game. And then when they're done, they all sit down and we have them discuss and reflect what happened, why did it happen, what did you do that worked as a leader, what did you do that hindered the team's success as a leader. This is where the learning actually goes on. What's funny is at the beginning of the week, it's like pulling teeth. These conferees don't know each other. They don't know what we're trying to do. They don't really want to talk about what happened and how they felt. By the end of the week, we have them facilitating it themselves. And the junior counselor and the senior counselor are just standing around listening and occasionally adding some perspective. So every activity in this very busy 6-day program is targeting a specific leadership lesson. So this is a list of some of those, not even exhaustive list of some of the leadership skills that we specifically target with the activities. I want to show you one example. I normally go through a bunch more, but for those of you who haven't been there, here's an example. It's called Laser Walk. And if you can remember the old Mission Impossible movie where Tom Cruise was trying to break into some vault or something, and there were lasers and he couldn't touch any of the laser beams. That's kind of the principle of this game. And if you can see the picture, you'll see there's a rope that's crisscrossing and tied together through these trees. And these conferees have to actually walk through. They have to get everybody through without touching the rope. And they have to make sure somebody goes and touches the ground in every single hole. So if you look, some of the holes are really big, but some of them are very small. And that challenges them on figuring out as a team who has to get their foot in, who's got good balance, who's got big honking feet, clown feet, that's going to have a hard time getting those little holes. So they have to work together. But the real leadership lesson in this one is about integrity. Because every time we do this, we let them go through, and the junior counselor and the senior counselor just sit quietly on the side while the time is running and they're trying to hurry and count the number of times they actually touch the rope and don't admit it. Or that they see one of their teammates touch the rope and don't say something. And it happens every single time because they're forced by pressure to try to win the game. Then we stop them and we tell them what we saw, how many times they touched, and we ask them about why did you not admit when you violated the rules. And we talk about how they felt when they did it. Did they notice that feeling was like, wait, is anybody looking? Does it matter if somebody didn't see me, but I didn't do it right? And so the leadership lesson on integrity is so much more about the feeling of knowing when you're doing something wrong. And there's no other way. You can talk to them and preach to them all you want, but having them actually experience it is really, and then talk about it, is really how we drive the leadership lesson home. So I've just got 2 quick slides here. One, things your Rotary Club can do. You're already doing this. Funding awards, thank you so much. Because I know that's, like our club, it's a huge expense. Select worthy students, go through, get nominees from schools, interview these kids. They'll be wonderful leaders in the future. And absolutely, please consider being a senior counselor. Right now, I think we need 12 for week 1 of Young RILA, which is in mid-June or the 3rd week of June. And I think we only have 7. So if we can't get more senior counselors, I don't know what we'll end up doing. So please, if you know somebody else, Rotarians who'd be willing to do it, please have them go to the website or reach out to me. Thank you. That's the last thing I wanted to say, and I can open it for questions. I appreciate you squeezing me into your regular meeting.
Thank you very much. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of heads nodding, so I think you may be getting some contacts as a potential senior counselors from this club. So thank you very much for joining us today, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay. Wanted to, every month I screw that up. We have some, looks fine on my computer at home. I don't know what happened. Some anniversaries of, your Rotary, when you joined Rotary. I know Russell's at 13 years this month. I know I saw Chris Fisher come in over in the corner, 9 years, and I don't think the other 3 are here. Haven't seen them. So thank you very much for continuing your membership with our club. And we have lots of birthdays this month. So, and I usually do this at the beginning of the month. I dropped the ball this month. I'm sorry. Jen sent it to me about 4 times and I kept saying, oh, got to put that in this week. And then I forgot. So thank you for reminding me again. And I just want to wish everybody a happy birthday who has a birthday this month. So lots of them. All right, let's do general announcements. If you have an announcement, please stand behind the podium so our Zoom people can see you and make sure to state your name for the scribe.
Okay, I'm Fitzy, and I'm just oh, yeah, hello, everybody. I just thought I'd give an update. I filled in for Michelle yesterday at Young Rotary because she had shoulder surgery. Say that past 5 times. It went very well, so I just thought I'd report that.
Good morning, my name is Kimra, and I have both an announcement and a happy buck for the same thing. So on your table, we have a new Rotarian who had a big book launch this week. And so Diane Ganzauer, she wrote a book about hiking 3,100 miles on the Continental Divide Trail, as well as officiating in a professional capacity over 400 memorial services. And so these stories are woven together in her book. And I think you would really enjoy hearing it. It's going to be at Malt. Information on the table. Now, the time was set long ago. The time also conflicts with the time that John Ellis has his memorial service. But the John Ellis Memorial Service at the Lake House, which is also the same day, is from 4 to 7. It's an open house according to their life summary. And so you could go to the Malt book reading from 4 to 5, stop by the Lake House, have some appetizers, celebrate John's life. So I will be also making a donation in Diane's honor because she was too humble to tell you about it. But of course, we all know that I am not. So you're aware. Yes.
Can I get a show of hands on how many people in here have served at least once as a senior counselor at RILA? There's about 7 or 8, 9 of us here. I want to second everything the gentleman doing the presentation on RILA says. I've been involved with RILA for a long time. It is a great experience. If you're wavering whether or not you can break away for the time, do it. It is absolutely worth it. It's been a few years since I've been involved, but if my schedule would allow, I'd be back. It is that much fun. So give it a shot.
Good morning, Katie Prolo. Mindy mentioned the Area 8 dinner. I just want to emphasize that we have quite a few Rotarians from this club signed up. We need some more. There's going to be a lot of fun. Mindy mentioned it, but there's some surprises that I'm looking forward to, and I think you would be too. And secondly, if you want to donate anything from a jigsaw puzzle to a Don Solly painting to a round of golf at Red Rocks, we've got some really cool things that are going to be in the auction. So please join us.
Good morning, I'm Dave, and just wanted to remind everybody that the Foothills Home Show is coming up in just 2 weeks, the 12th and 13th of April. And along with that, we're really looking for volunteers now. I'm going to send out a sign up genius here later on this morning, but Lori got us these great posters that we're going to be putting up a week from now. And just really hoping that we can get a good turnout and get people signed up and helping. Next weekend, we just need a couple of people, but coming up in 2 weeks, we need a slew of people really to help with the parking and the greeting and all of the things that go into putting on this show. So if you can help us out, we certainly would appreciate it. Thank you.
It's gonna be big.
It's gonna get smaller.
Behind the podium, center stage. Thank you.
I've been there. Alan Rubin, or Fred Bergenballer, as I'm popularly known. Good morning, performing arts aficionados. Tonight and tomorrow night, you too can learn more about the 5th President of the United States. Abraham, what was his last name? Lincoln. So tonight in concert, literally, with the Evergreen Chamber Orchestra. And Steve Taylor will be doing the narration for the program. We'll be singing songs from Aaron Copland, which, if you enjoy a challenge, is quite the book to sing. So I hope to see you tonight at Welsher Presbyterian Church, South Colorado Boulevard, in approximately Hampton at 7:30 tonight, or tomorrow you have another opportunity at 4:30. Tickets at ovationwest.org.
Hi, my name is Kay, and I just wanted to do a quick follow-up on Ryla, Young Ryla. Mike mentioned that Young Ryla has 10. Actually, we are funding 12 applicants for Young Ryla and 4 for Senior Ryla. Yesterday, I took a former young lady, Annie Beach, no, this is Annie. Annie, who attended Young Ryla last year. I took her out to the Montessori school to just share her experience. And we're going to have lots of applications coming from that middle school. We have Evergreen Country Day Middle School, Rocky Mountain Academy, and then Evergreen Middle School. So it's an amazing program. And I just wanted to thank this club, each one of you, for the generosity in supporting this program. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. All righty, with that said and done, I would like to invite our International Service Committee to come up. They are our speaker today, and we're kind of trying to focus on what some of the committees in our own club are doing. Not only for all of us who've been around a while to get caught up, but also so our new members know what's going on, so they can find places to get plugged in and be passionate also. And I will tell you, our ISC is really, really busy and has a lot going on. So I think it's going to be exciting for you all to hear. All right. Thank you, Mindy.
I'm Nikki Choder, and if you haven't met me already, I joined the club about 10 years ago, and then we moved away and came back 3 times. But we're back for good now. But you don't see me very often in the Friday meetings because I have to make breakfast for the kids and take them to school and all that. And by the time I'm done with that, it's probably about 8 o'clock, 8:15. Yeah. But I do love the international group, and we meet probably every other month on the second Tuesday with some variation. We usually put it on the club calendar, and we wanted to put a plug out there to get more involvement because it's a lot of the same actors that show up. And so here's Kelly, he's my co-chair. We both run the ISC. And here's Bob Rose, and he's going to talk about St. Helene. But like I said, it's a lot of the same people, so we wanted to invite some of the new members to come out, just check out what we're doing. Did you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'll just introduce myself real quick. As Nikki said, I am Kelly Garrett, co-chair. I've been co-chair now about 2 years, I think, of the International Services Committee. And I'm a retired engineer, did a lot of water work, so got involved in wash projects, which is really what brought me to the Evergreen Rotary Club. The other thing I'd like to emphasize is just what Nikki said. Especially with so many new members here, we'd love to see you at our meetings. We'd love to see you get involved. As we went through trying to put this presentation together, it's amazing how many projects and how many different things we get involved into. And it's really a fun organization, and we support a lot of really neat projects. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Nikki.
All right, thank you, Kelly.
Or do you want Bob to introduce himself real quick, or does everybody know it's Bob?
Hi, I'm Bob.
Thank you, Bob. So I mentioned already that Evergreen has a really long and active history of being the lead club of supporting international projects all over the world. People right here in this room for many years have been supporting projects in Honduras, Guatemala, Tanzania, Kenya, and we'll be showcasing mainly the projects that are coming right from here in Evergreen. So that's pretty amazing. We also support several projects within the district. We have a matching grant program for district grants and global grants. And I'm not going to go into all the details because there's a lot of them, right, Ted? Yeah. It almost takes a bachelor degree to figure it all out. Yeah. But we don't let that stop us. It's a lot of fun, and it's really about helping those in need around the world. And a lot of the money that is used to fund these grants and these projects is from the generous proceeds from the fundraisers that you support throughout the year, like Denim and Diamonds. So those are very important for refunding every year for the projects, not only for international, but also for the community service. So like I said, we meet about every other month, and we put it on the calendar. And we usually review about 2 to 3 projects, either within the club or from another club within the district. And sometimes we look at NGOs that are well vetted. And we, as a committee, vet it, discuss it, prioritize the ones that we're going to fund. And then we vote on allocating an appropriate amount of funding if passed by the voting members. And then once it's approved, we send it to the foundation board for final approval and distribution of funds. Each project is assigned a club champion whose responsibility is to mainly follow up and just be the main contact for the club for that project, and just give updates every few months or whenever. And then we also like to have fun events throughout the year. We've had a couple luncheons this year that were really nice. One of them was at Patrice's house. We did a Kenyan lunch. And then we also had a dinner at Al Steger's house for Guatemala, and we got to meet some of the girls in the Maya program. And we might do another one this year. But, yeah, that's one of the funnest things that we do. So please at least come to one of the lunches and get some great international food. So I already talked a lot about just a lot of these projects that are coming from this particular club, Evergreen. And these are the ones that we're going to showcase today. St. Helene, Bob's going to talk about that. The Center of Love Foundation, it's a water project about in Kenya, the slum in Kibera, that Patrice Henning, her NGO is found in, and Kelly's going to help talk about that. He's the club champion for that project. We're also going to show a video for the My Impact School that Ted runs, and the scholarships that are coming from the GIWEF, which is the Guatemala Indigenous Women's Endowment Fund. And basically what that is it's an account that we as the Evergreen Club support, and it's within our accounting. And it's an endowment fund where the investment income from the account goes to fund the scholarships for the Maya graduates. And then we'll also show a video of the Children's Hospital, the Kafika House in Tanzania. We helped support laundry facilities this year. And Kurt's our club champion for that project. Peyton's not here today, but we also will talk briefly about Speakers for Africa and Uganda. And the project that Kelly headed up last year, the San Juan de Yanaka water system in Peru. I also wanted to mention that we are the fiscal sponsors for, like I mentioned, the GIWEF, Ukraine Power Up and Project Cure, which we showcased last year. Heidi came and did a very nice presentation on that. We fund generators and boxes of medical supplies that we're going to Ukraine behind the lines. And we also, and this will go into Kelly's next little blurb, I guess. He's going to talk about the WASH Symposium and scholarships.
Okay, this is just a taste of the projects we've been involved into.
Right.
So for those of you that aren't aware, your dollars and what you're doing does a lot of work all over the world, and it's absolutely incredible. So thank you, thank you, thank you. One of the other things I've come to wear this year is I am the chairman, or the co-chairman actually, of the WASH Symposium this year. And for those of you who aren't aware, the WASH Symposium is a district-wide event. WASH, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the term, it stands for Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene. So anything that's, excuse me, anything that's involved with a water-ish project fits within the WASH category. And the symposium last year, we were lucky enough to get the Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. If any of you have seen that movie or read the book, incredible story of what he did and how he changed his whole community. And we are in the process this year of looking at who our speakers are and what the program is for the 2025 program. And it's a wide range, and we're still waiting to hear back from people, but I can assure you that it's going to be an incredible group of speakers. Also involved into it is a exhibitor area. Last year we had 22 exhibits, all different things, all different WASH projects, and what they're doing. So a couple of things for you. If everybody can remember this, the 2025 WASH Symposium will be held on October 25th. So you got time to plan for it. We're going to be holding it again at the CSU Spurs Center, which is an incredible facility. If you've never been there, just seeing the Spurs Center is kind of fun. And the theme of it this year is going to be driving impact, integrating systems thinking to WASH. So neat theme. We got a lot to work with. I hope you can make it. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Nikki. Thank you.
Thanks. I just wanted to put up the international budget just really quick. I don't want to go into a lot of details, but you can see all the different projects that we've done. And this is just the top ones are just from this fiscal year. And then these here are the ones that are designated from prior year. And then the final one is the Guatemala Indigenous Women's Endowment Fund that I mentioned. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Bob. He's going to talk about our first project.
Okay, and how do you start that? So,
Here, you want to start the video, or do you want to introduce?
oh yeah, I'm Bob Rose. I've been involved in St. Helena, Honduras for a number of years now, and I think the video speaks for itself. Thanks, Doug Turner. It's his presidential funding money that put this together. So let it rule.
All right. So we did a bunch of videos, the champions put them together, so thank you so much, champions, for putting together these videos. There's a lot involved in these international projects, and a picture's worth 1,000 words. A video is probably worth a few thousand.
It's a rough ride, and these little boats, you get wet. So they actually have plastic that they give you to keep you dry. And then you pull up to St. Helene, and what you see is houses on stilts out into the water. Since we've returned now many times, they know we're there with Rotary. They know we're there to listen to what they have to say. They want water.
Water. That's more important than anything else, you know? But that's something you have to use every minute, every day, and all the time.
The only sources for water on the island right now are hand-dug wells, but these wells now are drying up in the dry season. There is a missionary clinic on the island that will sell them water for a good price, but that means they have to walk distances to get there or take a boat, which is something islanders can do. They've had projects in the past that tried to bring water to the island that weren't engineered, and they actually fell apart within a few years. There was broken toilets. There was another group that put washrooms in their school, but they didn't provide for water for flushing, and it was abandoned very quickly. Sustainability is so important to Rotary. So he had professional hydrologists come and professional engineers, Engineers Without Borders, who spent a week on the island and drew up very professional plans so that this is a water system that should last for 20 years without problems. We have 2 good water wells. Well, that was a real challenge, because they not only do they not have roads, they don't have a major dock that could offload any equipment like that. They had to bring in a barge, essentially, a flat bottom barge with kind of a drawbridge to roll off these big drill rigs. And not only that, they had to roll off a backhoe so they could build the roads to get up to these platforms. And a big part of their sustainability not only is training for the islanders, but involving them right from day one in the planning. The islanders had to develop a water board, which will take full responsibility.
Local research, and then we have the transportation.
They're trained in how to bill, how to collect fees. Well, the islanders are very eager to do this right and get this done for themselves and their children. They carried the pipes, they dug the trenches, and so they're eager to play their part. And they see this, they understand that this is part of what their contribution. We're contributing expertise and some money. They're contributing their labor. Right. The water will be delivered to 220 homes. It will also be delivered to 4 churches, 2 schools, and 4 little businesses. I happened to be there when they flushed that system for the first time, and you could actually hear shouts coming up from the villages. They're so excited to see that water, and to have it come right to their homes, that's unheard of on Helene. So they're thrilled with it. Evergreen Rotary needs to know that the islanders of St. Helene are so thankful and grateful to them for this water system. It's something that they only dreamed of and are so excited to get. So thank you, Evergreen Rotary. The club that contributed to the project, from the partners in Canada to I think we had 19 clubs total that contributed to this event, to this project. We got a lot more to show, so we're going to skip to some of the other projects now. But if there's questions, I'd certainly be glad to talk about it. I love talking about St. Helene. So if you want to ask some questions when we're done, I'll be here.
Thanks, Bob.
It's a great video. I've seen it many times and every time it gets better. Thank you. How do I advance to the next slide? A couple. I put on my glasses to see what we're doing. This is just a project I wanted. Our club has been supporting for a number of years, and as you can tell, we've got one of our more established members here who has visited a number of times. Wonderful project. I've been told it's one of the poorest communities in Africa and Kenya. And I think we've done a number of different types of projects with it. The projects I have primarily been involved with, since I've been involved with the committee, have been more water oriented. And there are 2 different projects that we've been involved with within the last few years, that they were taking water, this is water out of a well, and providing it to, I think the first one did 5,000 students in schools. And the second one is in the works right now to do a similar number of providing clean water to schools. And if you're not aware, having clean drinking water, if you're in a school, is just so important to getting a good education. So this not only promotes clean water to the community, but it also helps with the education of a lot of students. Now, do I keep going?
I think Maya's next, so if you want to say more about Kelly.
Oh.
Still Mike for a second.
If you have any interest, I will speak for Patrice Henning. There is a Rotary group going down to the Center of Love in Kenya, July 29th through August 5th. And I'm one of the people going on that trip. So if anyone wants more details, either reach out to me or Patrice.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mindy. Really appreciate that.
So with that, we'll move on to the Maya Impact School in Guatemala. Did you want to say anything, Ted? Okay. All right.
I have 4 strikes against me. I am from a rural community. I am poor. I am indigenous. I am a girl, but I want to learn. Luckily, I like challenges. I am unstoppable. These are the leaders of the award-winning Maya Impact School, the first secondary school in Central America run by indigenous women for indigenous girls.
We are girl-centered. We are family-centered. We are goal-driven.
Maya exists because in Guatemala there are 4 million indigenous women. 48% of them don't know how to read or write. And for every 10 girls, 3 will be forced to marry before they turn 18. But with every year of school, a girl's income increases by 20%. With every year of school, a girl's health improves. With every year of school, a girl is more free to choose her future and more likely to educate her family. I am strong, I am smart, I am ready. How far can I go? As far as graduation, as far as a job with a dignified salary, as far as Congress or cabinet?
How far can I go? I will be the first person in my family to graduate from high school. Now I can read and write in 3 languages, practical Spanish and English. I will do an internship to gain experience. I am going to university with a scholarship.
At Maya, we are called Girl Pioneers because we are leading the way, forging a bold new trajectory. There are 4 pillars to Maya's quality education: lifelong learning. I have the right to 15 years of schooling. Empowerment. I will learn to raise my voice and work across differences. Economic autonomy. I will gain hands-on skills to be employed and earn a living wage. A family on my own terms. I can choose to be in a stable position before I begin a family. These are the foundations to building a better future for all. We are raising our voices, unlocking our potential, linking arms and breaking cycles of poverty. We are unstoppable. These are not just phrases, they are a new reality.
I wrote an article about the importance of poetry and got published on a national media outlet. I serve on the board of directors of a foundation that supports girl education around the world. I won a scholarship for university, and I am part of scholarship board at the local organization. I participated in an event with former First Lady Michelle Obama, and I did an interview that was published on international media outlets.
I am indigenous. I am poor. I come from a rural community. I am a girl.
I am not the problem. I am the solution.
Before I go into the Kafika house, in Tanzania, I wanted to let Kurt say anything, he wanted beforehand. I put this video in, I thought maybe you'd wanna discuss your life trip.
Oh, sure. Oh, you put that video in too.
Do you want me to play it?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, this is a short one. This is at the Maasai Girls School. They were celebrating their 30th Jubilee. We were back in front as honored guests. Music brings tears to the and while they're doing this, we did a public plaster house. It's not called the back in 2005 or so. We led the grant in the water system going really well and stuff like that. And most recently, through washing machines and dryers. They're going to see in the video a number of kids, up to 140 to 150 at a time in this facility. It's a pre and post-op facility for several hospitals in the area. So they bring the kids in, get them ready for surgery. They have the surgery, then they're there for their full recovery rather than sending them back out to the bush. So here's that, and I'm going to hand the mic back.
Thank you so much, Kurt. Is it not gonna work? All right. Yeah, I can turn it.
Hi, I don't.
No, no streaming. That's okay. Well, at least.
Trust me, it's great.
So we'll send out the link after this.
Doc.
So like Kurt said, we just funded some laundry facilities for the Kafika house. It's a surgery center for children. One of their main missions is to do preventive surgeries and any kind of conditions that are preventable. Okay, and with that, I'll give it over to Kelly.
Thank you again. This is a project that was originally brought to me. They were looking for some Denver support to do the engineering for it. And I got brought in to do the engineering. Ended up got much more involved into it. Our club funded a good portion of this project. This is in Quintos, which the only way you can get to this village is either by boat or by airplane. There's no ground transportation. It's right off the Amazon River. They had a water problem. The water was quite dirty, difficult to drink. So in conjunction with the Nevada Hope Foundation, we put together a design and constructed a facility to pump the water out of the river and do some treatment to it. It was mainly sedimentation removal. And then there's a storage tank that we store it into. So the project has been completed. It's working. I will also say that mainly Nevada Hope Foundation has worked with the village. The village They have their own water committee, they manage this whole project, they keep it going, so it's all theirs. One other thing I'd like to say about it is in this picture right here, this is Rosemary Wright. She is a medical student in Miami. She also got awarded one of the scholarships from the WASH committee. And basically went down there to teach them better hygiene and how to basically wash their hands better, create better living experiences for them. So kind of a couple of things we've been involved with them. So thank you.
What do I do? Oh, it's just the arrow key. Okay.
There's two more.
Oh, there's two more. Okay, this one is just real quick. This is, I think Bob is the champion on this one. But this is Cameroon. This is Joshua Knight, quite a character. He's did a missionary in Cameroon and goes back there occasionally. Developed a organization that goes through and drills wells. I think his last one was in the neighborhoods of 50, 60,000 that he was doing. We were one of the Rotary clubs that helped sponsor him. And they just deliver clean water to various villages in Cameroon. Have been doing it for a number of years and are highly successful in their efforts. Bob, anything else you want to add or? Okay. Speakers for Africa. This is one that really runs home a little bit. Peyton Manning, or Peyton Thomas, excuse me. Not doing good here. Anyway, Peyton Thomas is a member of our club, newer member of our club. He is the director of Speakers for Africa. He is back in Uganda right now. We sponsored his latest project, which was latrines. I was amazed. They had to dig their trench down 70 feet, if you can imagine that, in order to put the latrines together. But they do a lot of different stuff with it, and I expect to see more stuff coming from Peyton as we work with him on other projects they're working on. Neat organization. I guess it's back to you, Nikki.
And like I said, those are just the ones we're showcasing, but there's a lot of projects that we're involved with here in Evergreen and in the district. So I guess with that, we'll just open it up for questions if you have any.
The one other thing I'll add is I think one thing you can see from our presentation, how many people just within our club have been involved in these. I mean, we've got a number of members who have helped us, who have championed these projects. Ted, he's wonderful in the things he's done. So we appreciate all the various members and what they've done.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Questions?
Thank you guys for what you're doing. What is your annual budget and that comes out of the Evergreen Club, the ones that we raise?
Yeah, so I had a slide. I can just pull that up.
If you want to just talk from that.
Yeah. So, like I mentioned, we had designated funds and committed from prior year. But for this fiscal year, for 24-25, our budget was $22,850. And we currently have 1,700-ish left in the budget. So we like to spend that usually before March. What typically happens is we have a really busy fall, get some requests in, and we try to accommodate everybody, but we have to do a good job in prioritizing and vetting the projects. And then that's what the committee does too, to help with that process. So.
What
and say I have a great idea. Say I have a great idea and I'm a new member.
Okay,
And I want to be a champion. How do I become a club champion?
I think that's a great question for Kelly because he did that.
And so did Peyton. What I would do is start by coming to a meeting and see what we're all about. And then talk to us about your project. We have a little submittal form that we ask everybody to fill out that we give to all the members, all the voting members, all the people that attend the committee meetings. And you can see it explains a little bit what the committee is all about.
Requirements for a project?
Requirements for a project. You've got something in mind there, Dale.
That opens up a whole can of worms. Especially if you're talking about grants, district grants, global grants. There's a reason that Rotary is a 5-star rated charity. It's 501c. And Rotary has a lot of expectations and a lot of buckets and a lot of checks.
Bob's real good at
Yes, so, and he's
He's
done.
been for.
Well, yeah, several of us have
Yeah.
done grants, so we know the requirements that Rotary, I think is supposed to be. That Rotary does for grants, and they are extensive. And yet, we are a volunteer organization, so we're well-meaning volunteers, right? And Rotary wants to make sure that us well-meaning volunteers do it right. So they really make sure that the project, one of the big words is sustainability. They don't want to just put in a well, they want to put in a well that's maintained for this village or community for many, many years. So they really have a lot of requirements. But they're good. You have to jump through a lot of hoops. And even a project coming to our club, we're looking for sustainability, we're looking for a lot of different things. And that application asks a lot of those questions that will have that information before we even sit down and talk about the project. So.
Can you just briefly go through community assessment?
Community assessment is one of the requirements for a global grant that's really right about how do you do a well-developed international development project. And the community assessment is you must go into the community, the village, the town, wherever you're going to work, and you must do an extensive survey of not just the leadership in that community, but every individual in that community to find out what they want. So we had a project of a District 5450 person who had great projects in terms of women's empowerment and business development in Africa. And she went for another community assessment, and they said, yeah, we want that. But what we really need is our wells are going bad. We need water. So all of a sudden she had to shift her focus to what they wanted. Now they wanted both, don't get me wrong, but you gotta have water to do business development. And so she had to shift the focus, and that's what efficient development is all about. Understanding what the community really wants, partnering with them as you develop it, so.
Thank you very much to all of you for your time today and for the work you do. I'm breaking my own rule and I'm not behind the podium. I'm president, I can do that. So thank you guys all for being here. And as we always do with each of our speakers, we'll be donating 60 doses of polio vaccine in your name today. And thank you very much. And please consider attending an ISC meeting, even just once, just to kind of see what they're all about. I think you'll really walk out of there truly inspired to continue with the work we do. So with that, go out and share the magic of Rotary with the community around you, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
You know.
Great job.